Hey everyone, I'm gonna back up here a little bit. That camera always surprises me. It zooms in as soon as I hit record. How's it going? Happy Wednesday to you. So I thought I'd go over quickly how my goals are, and I hope this doesn't feel like I want to talk about me, want to talk about I want to talk about number one. But I did say that I was going to give an update, so that's what I'm going to do here quickly. How are you guys doing with your 2019 goals? We are over a quarter of the way into the year. Every year, I'm like, I can't wait for winter to end, and then all of a sudden it's like April, May, June, and I'm like, the year's half over, just like that. And it doesn't really feel like it's starting to me until it's spring and warm, and because that's just the part of the year I love. I just love for spring and the winter. Um, so anyway, I have my list here, and I quickly jotted down notes beside my goals. To evaluate how I've been doing. I will say a little disclaimer right at the start. When I set these goals in January, my baby was sleeping through the night, and I know I said this probably in like every video. I'm sorry if I'm sounding repetitious, but I thought I was at the point where I could count on him to sleep through the night, and all of a sudden he hasn't been ever since I started this. I don't know if that made it any better. Anyway, you can see me. Okay. So that has kind of not gone quite like I had planned. I thought I was finally sleeping through the night and stuff, and I'm not yet. So that has messed my plans up a little bit. So I'm just going to start at the top of my list and go down. So reading a chapter of my Bible daily. I've been probably doing that like 75% of the time. So I'm, of course, always wanting to improve and do better. So I'd love to have that at 100%. But life does happen, and it's not perfect. So I am making headway at getting through the rest of the Old Testament, and I'm learning as I go. And I just wanted to say, like, after this, I'm not sure what I'll do next, but when I was a teenager, like, I didn't know the Bible very well when I was first a Christian and stuff, and I read different devotionals, and I just felt like I had a very thin grasp of, like, what the overall message of the Bible is, like, chronological order. Just when I read devotionals where they took little bits and pieces out here and there, I felt like I didn't have the big picture entirely. Like, it just wasn't clear in my head. So that's why I finally started this a few years ago. Like, and a chapter a day works good for me at being able to digest it. I know I could read it faster, but so yeah, that's why I chose to do it this way. It has taken me a long time, but I feel like I have a much better grasp of the overall what's in the Bible. And, from here on, I'll look at things more closely, or maybe read through it again in a year more fast. I don't know. But so that's what I've been doing, and that's why I've been doing it that way. So my spiritual goal was that: read the Bible daily, pray daily, and I started a prayer journal, and I haven't done that quite daily, but it has helped me to remember things and people I want to pray for, specifically even just my own children and husband. I find it hard to remember to even pray for them, which is pathetic for a wife, right? But by writing it down, I can kind of read through it quickly and be like, oh yeah, I want to pray for this and this for that person and that person today. So that has been really nice, and being able to see how God answered those prayers already in the last few months by making a prayer journal. My spiritual goal was be a living sanctuary to others. And I don't know how to evaluate that because I'm not others. So I'm always trying to have my eyes open to opportunities and to be Jesus to people, because when I was a younger Christian, I was more of a judgmental Christian, and nothing drives people away like being judgmental. And obviously, Christ himself was not that way. He was loving and welcoming. So I want to be that way to other people. So I'm striving for that, and maybe somebody else can evaluate me on that. So the next goal was family. Spend quality time with each family member daily. I feel like that's much easier with the little ones. Obviously, I do that with Jonah. I spend lots and lots of time with him. And the other two younger ones, they're young, they still need their mom. So, but still I try to not only meet their physical needs, but connect with them daily. And I still am working on that. And then my oldest is turning 13 this year, and it's probably hardest to make sure I connect with him because he doesn't need a mom to meet his physical needs, and he likes doing his own thing, and he's pretty independent. So it takes a little bit more effort to make sure I am connecting with him, and I need to do better at that yet. The other family goal was game nights weekly, and I talked about this a little bit before. The kids are loving that. They love deciding what we're going to do, even like a week in advance. They're always looking for the next thing, planning the next thing, and counting down the days to the next game night. Right now they're into fishing, and they want to go to the park fishing tonight if the weather cooperates with them. It's very dreary here right now and kind of rainy. So anyway, we're really loving that. That has been fun. And date nights monthly. So far, my mother-in-law has been doing a wonderful job at making it work to babysit so that we can have a date night. And I gotta tell you, this has been really huge. Especially when life gets busy, it's like you just keep going and going and going and barely take time to stop and breathe. And making time to connect with your spouse is really a challenge at times. So that has been really awesome. And I think we've pretty much done that every month, and maybe even more than monthly, and we're loving that. And I just want to challenge you, if you're married, to make time to date your spouse. It's just when life gets crazy, I'm trying to find something here quickly. It's easy to become like roommates who tolerate each other, or just like, yeah, we're in it for the long haul and we're gonna, plow our way through this or whatever. But it's much more fun if you stay connected and make time for each other, and keep pursuing that relationship. I found a quote today. It says, dates got you to a place where you wanted to marry each other. If you want to stay married, then keep dating your spouse. And I'm like, yeah, so true. Just even things, keep it fun. Like, it doesn't become a punishment after you're married. Like, keep texting each other, keep writing notes and things like that. Keep doing little favors for each other and things like that. So that has been really fun, having a monthly date. And we also do our weekly money dates, which sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, we are too tired to do it when that little bell goes off on our phones at 9 o'clock on Thursday nights. But we've been doing it most of the time, and I try to, when I make my menu, I try to put a little snack on for that. And it might be something like cheese and crackers or whatever, just something small, a special drink or whatever. because my husband can be bribed with food. So even if he doesn't feel like showing up for our money dates and going over our budget and stuff, that's not fun for him at all. If I say, hey, I got a snack for you, he's all game. So he can be bribed with food. Anyway, so yeah, and then career, which that has been like the biggest challenge the first quarter of this year. We have Matt switched partners not too long ago. They changed the name. We were switching around checking accounts. We tried a couple different programs for tracking our expenses and stuff, and oh my word, I was struggling to keep up with the changes and be consistent with that. We decided to use QuickBooks, and I'm liking it for the most part, but seriously, computer stuff, finances, that's not my first love, and it's a little bit of a challenge at times. Excuse me. So doing my best at that. If anybody can recommend, is there like classes you can take to learn to use QuickBooks? Or I think I saw something online where you can like take an, excuse me, like an online course that walks you through how to use QuickBooks. I got the basics down, but we're definitely struggling a little with the invoices always matching the payment, if something got changed from when he made the invoice and things like that, like fine-tuning it, we're struggling a little bit. If somebody's more familiar with that and has any tips for me, I would definitely welcome them. Also under career, I had lesson plans and balance the checkbook weekly, which I probably balance the checkbook a couple times weekly, and that's been going pretty good. Lesson plans, that's kind of a jumbled mess right now, and I need to do my homeschool evaluation in the next month or 2 or 3 here, so no, not 3, I don't have 3 months, I have maybe 2 months, so I need to get on that. I've been struggling with lesson plans. Financial, stick to my budget and debt avalanche, that's been going pretty good. We've been able to stick with that. Sticking to the budget is a struggle, especially just with unexpected things. We always seem to have unexpected things, like things like when your car needs inspected and it needs more work than you thought it would, and things like that. So I just need to, I guess, give us more wiggle room in the budget for things like that. So anyway, then my physical goal was to lose 50 pounds this year. How am I doing with that? And by exercising 10 minutes a day, 5 days a week, and eating healthy. I've had to reevaluate this a couple times. I've lost between 5 and 10 pounds. It keeps going up and down between there, and I should be down about 20 by now, so, or at least 12 or 15. So it's not going quite as good as I would like, but I am still doing the things I need to do to lose weight, or reevaluating what I need to do differently. I'm trying to just reduce my calories a little more. I was eating pretty healthy most of the time, but eating things like 2 eggs every morning and a pretty big supper, and I think I was just getting too many calories in to be losing weight. So I'm trying to reduce my calories and continue eating healthy the way I am. And the exercising has been a little bit of a struggle because of the baby waking me up in the wee hours, and sometimes he's up when it's time for me to be working out and that kind of thing. So I've been doing my best to be consistent. Social, do a kind deed for at least, social, do a kind deed for others at least once a month. I think I've done that. I didn't actually keep track necessarily, but Yeah, I could probably up that to once a week. It depends what I'm calling a kind deed. You know, that's pretty vague maybe. Um, but yes, I think I could say I achieved that. Intellectual, oh, I kind of went over this with career. Learn how to better use technology. Um, I've transferred all our bookwork, personal and finances to like computer software or whatever, or computer program. So I'm not doing it on paper anymore, and that does save time, especially once I figure out how to really work everything better. And then my last intellectual goal: read one book monthly. I failed pretty badly on that one. I am still in my first book, and I'm like maybe a quarter of the way into it. So I'm doing pretty bad with that. I did recently set a timer on my social media time. So I think it's 20 minutes a day. So when that's up, it's up. And I should probably just reduce that to no social media. But it's kind of my outlet or whatever, being home with kids all day, every day. So I don't know if I'm quite ready to totally eliminate it, but by reducing it to 20 minutes a day, I should be able to find a little more time to pick up a book instead of picking up my phone evenings or when I'm sitting down to feed the baby or whatever. So that's how I've been doing. How have you guys been doing with your goals? We are a little over a quarter of the way into 2019. And, you know, you could start right now. You still have more than half a year if you have almost a full 3/4, not quite. If you want to start now, or if you haven't been doing real great, but you've been trying, hey, that could be the practice quarter, and you still have almost 3/4 left. So let me know how you guys are doing with your goals. It's been fun to have you guys tell me in person what you might have been able to learn from these videos, and I hope they're helpful to you. And yeah, that's all I got this time. And you guys have a good week.